record.
Hi, this is Anurag. Today, our topic is about constructive dismissal. First of all, I would like to explain what is constructive dismissal. In a company, if the employer makes the changes in employee's contract or employment without giving a significant notice to the employer, this change can be considered as a constructive dismissal. The changes can be related to anything. It can be related to the demotion from the current position of the employee, relocation, layoff, pay cut. For example, if the employer, without consulting the employee and without good reason, moves a senior manager to ordinary salesperson, the employee need not accept the new position and appeal for a constructive dismissal. And now, the entire explanation about the case description would be explained by Parvesh.
Thank you, Anurag, for giving us the brief about the constructive dismissal in general. So here we are going to discuss about the case which happened in 2011 with regards to Chartered versus RW Travel Limited, and why it happened and how did it happen. We are going to discuss on those facts. So we are going to do a role play. Here, Mingmin is going to be an employer who is going to tell you that what leaded her to take the decision against an employee for constructive dismissal.
From my perspective, as an employer, I have been doing everything for the company and also care about my employees at the same time. For example, when Susan had been ill on the weekdays, I told she to give her files to others and go home to get some rest. Also, I try help Susan, such as with the invoicing when she was busy and did not give her more work than I gave to others. I want to make sure my employees to be treated equally and feel that I'm actually care about them. Also, I set the lunch time because it wouldn't interfere with each other's lunch time, and everyone could go back to work on time. Therefore, what I have been doing is actually for my employees and the company's benefits.
So you have heard the employer side, and she has stated that she treated her employee with respect and fairly. She did not meant to like take certain measures against the employee until the time came where she had to, and that is why the constructive dismissal take place. Now we'll hear from the employee side that what was wrong and why she's in this case why she is choosing to file against the company.
Hi, I'm the employee. Over the years of working, I've seen that the office environment is very intense and the trust factor is missing. I'm not treated equally as compared to other employees. The workload was distributed unevenly, and even after working for extra hours, I was not given any credits. And because of that, I'm filing a case of constructive dismissal.
So we have heard the employee that she felt that it was not that the employee was not treated fairly with respect and dignity. So she is filing the case against the company. So here comes a plaintiff who will file the case against the company. So plaintiff.
Hello. So the plaintiff, Susan Chartrand, began working for the defendant, the Posniaks, or RW Travel Limited, in the 1990s. The plaintiff had a stress leave from May 31st, 2006 to October 10th, 2006, which was the date expected to return to work. The plaintiff's employment ended on March 1st, 2007, and the plaintiff is claiming that during the time of employment, she suffered damages, including constructive dismissal from the workplace and vacation pay owed. Constructive dismissal involves that the employer made the workplace intolerable, and the employee has been constructively dismissed without identifying a specific fundamental term. The defendant or the employer owed a duty of proper and fair treatment towards employees. There's evidence of this when we can see that both Leda Bonnie Wills and Tina Kennedy are claiming that Ms. Posniak created a poor work environment for them as well. Ms. Wills witnessed the plaintiff crying on multiple occasions due to the treatment, and both Ms. Wills and Ms. Kennedy claimed similar treatment during their employment. Plaintiff was also diagnosed with work-related stress and was treated poorly in comparison to other staff, and have several claims that would allow for a fairer workplace written into the expectation document. The plaintiff is entitled to $978 in vacation pay based on her income of $24,450. So this is a 4% total off of the total income.
So as presented by the plaintiff, that the given circumstances was not in favor of the employee, and that is why she is asking for the compensation, and it was not the employee was not treated fairly. So now we'll hear from the defense, who will state the facts from the employer end.
In order for the plaintiff to have been subject to constructive dismissal, certain criteria must have been met. The defense asserts that this criteria has not been met and is not subject to meet the request of Ms. Susan Chartrand. First and foremost, when discussing constructive dismissal, the law states that the employer must substantially change the terms of an employee's contract of employment. Moreover, that the employee must also not consent to these changes. This, of course, is not the case based on the facts provided by our plaintiff. Ms. Chartrand is merely displeased with and suffering from a degree of stress caused by her workplace. The fact of the matter is, however, the plaintiff's contract of employment has not undergone any changes since the beginning of her employment with RW Travel Limited. Beyond this, the assertions made by the plaintiff that the workplace has grown to become intolerable is inaccurate. Employing many individuals, RW Travel Limited has created a strict, no-nonsense work environment in which the employees are well aware of what is expected of them. The plaintiff's assertion that the workplace has grown to become intolerable and a duty of proper care is not being supplied is beyond unreasonable. All employees are subject to the same rules and the same punishment for a failure to comply to these rules. The plaintiff, Ms. Chartrand, has merely been subject to a stern leader and punishment for her failure to adhere to company rules.
As presented by the defense, here we can see that the certain factors which were in favor of the employer and against the employee. That is why in 2011 the decision went in favor of the employer, because it was rightly taken by the employer, and it was wrongful termination or wrong charges were put up by the employee against the company. So here we'll talk more about the corporate environment via our HR, Megha, who will tell you what company environment should be like.
Some of the best HR practices in this area are to keep our work environment respectful and free of bullying, harassment, and hostility, ensure changes affecting our employees are made honestly and for legitimate business reasons, talk with our employee prior to implementing a significant change. If we offer our employee a different position, ensure the responsibilities and total compensations are comparable to their prior positions, confirm the change in writing and get our employees to sign off on the change. A well-planned strategy on how to implement the change to the employment relationship will reduce the likelihood of significant dismissal and legal cost. Suggest the employees to bring their grievances to the HR so it could be resolved thoroughly. Conduct or administrate regular employee feedback surveys. Create fair workplace anti-harassment policies and follow them. Conduct workplace investigations promptly, thoroughly, and in an unbiased manner. Deal effectively with all employees, including managers and supervisors, who breach the workplace violence, harassment, or discrimination policies. Do not impose or threaten to impose sanctions against an employee who lodges a complaint, except in the most obvious cases of bad faith.
Thank you, Megha, for telling us about the corporate environment and how it should be. And this is the team Construct Dismissal who presented to you that if you in current scenario as well, if you're feeling that if you're feeling like that you are not treated fairly and something is not right, so here we are with the constructive dismissal case to tell you that this is the time to take up the case and go to your employer and file for your rights. So that's team Anurag, Minmin, Julia, Neil, Nick, and Megha, and me, Parvesh. Thank you.